Tired of cold and flu weighing you down and wasting weeks of your life every year? In this video, we're going to learn my top 8 tips for never getting sick. Oh, and stay tuned to the end because one of them might really surprise you. Hey there, super friends. Jonathan Levy here, host of the award-winning Becoming Superhuman podcast. And for the last 5+ years, I have been blessed with unbelievably good health. In fact, I'm pretty sure that while I've had the sniffles and a stuffy nose a few times, I don't actually recall getting a full-blown cold or flu, despite the fact that I usually don't make time to go get a flu vaccination, and I'm flying all over the world every other month. In this video, you're going to learn my top 8 tips for never getting sick. Oh, and by the way, it goes without saying that I am not a doctor and I am not qualified to give you any medical advice. So check with your doctor before changing anything that you are already doing because I cannot be liable. And make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon below so that you don't miss out on any more videos like this. Tip number 1, it all starts with sleep. I know, you're expecting the first item on the list to be some crazy concoction of disgusting ingredients that hack your immune system into overdrive, and we will get there. But the honest truth is that the ultimate way to optimize your health is to sleep well and sleep enough. This means that not only getting the proper amount, which is about 7.5 hours for most people, but it also means avoiding screens and digital devices hours before bed, ensuring that your sleep environment is cold, quiet, and dark, and setting a regular bedtime and a wake-up schedule. Without proper sleep, your body cannot do all of the maintenance work and defense that it needs to do to your tissues and your cells, much less balance the body's hormones, creating an imbalance in nearly every system in the body and even at the cellular level. Not to mention the horrible effects that even mild sleep deprivation have on your brain and its performance. If you want to learn more about how to optimize your sleep, I've interviewed 2 of the world's top experts in the subject, and we have some links in the description to resources that will help you do just that. Tip number 2, Chaga Mushrooms. Now here's your crazy concoctions as promised, in the form of a powerful brew of immune-boosting fungi known as chaga. Everybody knows that there are a variety of herbal and plant medicines for just about every ailment under the sun, but what most people don't know is that the fungi kingdom also has a huge variety of therapeutic members, from mushrooms that boost your brain power to mushrooms that let you talk to trees, and even mushrooms that boost your immunity. In fact, I was surprised to learn that something like 20% of pharmaceuticals that we take today are actually derived from some form of fungi. When it comes to immune boosting, the mushroom of choice is chaga. The chaga mushroom has an abundance of beta-D-glucans, which help balance the response of the body's immune system. But it can be pretty hard, if not impossible, to find chaga in your local grocery store. For this reason, I really love the Chaga Mushroom Elixir Mix made by Four Sigmatic. I drink it anytime I fly to give myself an extra immune boost. On top of that, I also switched out my plain old everyday coffee for one of Four Sigmatic's different kinds of mushroom coffee mixes. I actually prefer this one because it combines the powerful brain-boosting lion's mane mushroom with the immune-boosting chaga mushroom, and it's all baked in. So that means that I'm not only much more productive and focused than I am on regular coffee, I'm also getting daily immune support for a completely natural boost. By the way, if you guys would like to save 15% on the whole range of Four Sigmatic products, we've actually worked out a special partnership with them, and we have a special link with a coupon code in the video below. Tip number 3, vitamin C, but much more than Dr. Mom ordered. Over the years, I've discovered that even when I start to feel mildly sick, you know, that scratchy throat, drippy nose, or mild headache, I can generally turn things around with a hefty dose of vitamin C. This is pretty much common knowledge. After all, how many moms out there give their kids a glass of orange juice when the kid is starting to get sick? But here's the thing. The levels of vitamin C that I'm talking about are much, much, much more than you could get from even an entire bottle of vitamin C, and with a heck of a lot less sugar. In fact, when I'm starting to get sick, or I'm hopping on a flight, arriving from a flight, getting to a conference room full of people, I generally will take between 500 and 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day from a high-quality source such as rose hips. And I've even heard people like Tim Ferriss say that they will take 1,000 milligrams an hour while they're awake. Now, while a lot of this, especially at those higher levels of 1 gram an hour, is inevitably not absorbed in the body, the reality is that vitamin C has an extremely, extremely high toxicity in the tens or hundreds of thousands of milligrams. And so experiments have even been done with giving cancer patients doses that are orders of magnitude more than the recommended daily dose. Giving your body a high dose of vitamin C, even if just for a few days, gives it the opportunity to absorb as much as it needs, allowing it to strengthen your immune system and fight off any nasty bacteria that may be bringing you down. But ramp up slowly because headaches and diarrhea can happen. Tip number 4, follow the golden rule for hand washing. Most of us know that we should be washing our hands, but how many of us actually do it frequently enough? After all, we are exposed to all kinds of bacteria every time we touch something or someone. Now, overall, this is a good thing. It's not something to be afraid of. Being exposed to new bacteria help us develop a healthy microbiome, which aids in our digestion and promotes elevated immunity. That's why overall, I don't recommend scrubbing your veggies too hard, wearing a filtration mask in public, or walking around sanitizing everything around you. With that said, there are some exceptions, and those are predominantly before eating or raising your hands to your face. When we eat, we inevitably touch our food, our utensils, and our mouths, and so it's important to always wash your hands before eating. But what about all of the other times you touch your face? Do you wash your hands before brushing your teeth and flossing? Before rubbing your eyes in the morning? Before yawning? Sure, it would be overkill to constantly run to the bathroom before yawning, but there is some happy middle ground. Personally, I always wash my hands immediately before sitting down to a meal. For example, going straight to the restroom when I arrive to a restaurant and while I'm waiting for my table. And I try to regularly wash them whenever I'm reminded. In addition, I try to avoid raising my hands to my face unless I know perfect proof positive that they're clean. Tip number 5, ginger tea. Just like vitamin C, I've come to discover that ginger is an extremely powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antifungal plant. It's all natural, and it actually works better than many medications out there. When you start to feel sick, try taking your vitamin C tablets with tea made from fresh, organic, raw ginger with honey and cinnamon. Then, when you're done drinking the tea, eat at least 1 teaspoon of the soaked ginger. You can chew it if you can tolerate the spicy taste, or just swallow it whole. Doing this literally never fails to bring me back into optimal health, even if I haven't been sleeping well. So now that we're halfway through our list, let me ask, how many of these did you already know about, but neglect to do? Let me know in the comments below whether you did or did not know about this, and whether or not you always remember to do it. Okay, on to tip number 6. Drink tons of water, tea, or bone broth. When you are sick, your body needs to flush out whatever is ailing it. In order to do that, it needs a lot of high-quality liquids. That's why Dr. Mom always is trying to get you to drink that orange juice, or if you were lucky, some delicious homemade chicken noodle soup. But when I talk about high-quality liquids, I'm not talking about sugary orange juice, artificial Gatorade, or otherwise healthy smoothie concoctions. I'm talking about pure, clean H2O. Water is instrumental in pretty much every single process in our bodies, not just at the systems level, but also at the actual cellular level. I've heard it said that being as much as 2% dehydrated can reduce your body's performance by as much as 20%. So just imagine what happens when you're feverish, hot, sweaty, and you don't feel good enough to get up and get a glass of water. Your body and even your individual cells are literally aching for the water they need to fight off that infection. If water is too boring for you or you want to give yourself an extra boost, I want you to remember the ginger tea recipe I gave you before, or enhance it with antioxidant-rich green tea for a nice energy boost. If you want to also give your achy joints some love, I recommend some bone broth made from real fish, poultry, or beef bones, not the powdered junk. Tip number 7, exercise, even when you start to feel sick. We all know that exercise is good for our bodies and promotes health and happiness, but conventional wisdom would tell you to take it easy as soon as you start to feel sick. Not so. While certain illnesses such as fever, food poisoning, or bronchitis should definitely keep you out of the gym, a simple cold can often be staved off or reduced by getting your body moving. Exercise is great for boosting our body's immune balance and feel-good hormones, and for that reason, you shouldn't completely rule out a light workout when you start to feel a little under the weather. Tip number 8, get your daily dose of magnesium. Years ago, I was shocked to discover that between 70 and 80% of Westerners are magnesium deficient due to excessive topsoil depletion in our agricultural system. This is alarming because magnesium is supposed to be the second most abundant element inside human cells and the fourth most abundant positively charged ion in the human body. Within the body cells, it serves literally hundreds of critical functions and is absolutely necessary for proper muscular, cognitive, and cellular functions. The thing is, the average adult male needs about 400 milligrams a day, and the average adult female needs 300. And that can be really, really hard to get from foods or even from many of the low-quality, over-the-counter magnesium supplements, which are made of low-absorbing magnesium citrate or magnesium oxide. Personally, I've had a lot of success with a unique product called Natural Calm Magnesium Powder. Because of their proprietary blend of magnesium, which you dissolve in water immediately before drinking, they boast a higher absorption rate than most other supplements on the market, and so the benefits of their products range from better sleep to better bowel movements and even improved immunity. If you are not taking a magnesium supplement, it's a very good idea to at least consider one, and you can find a link to the one that I like right in the description below. So now that you know my top 8 tips, let me ask you, how prepared are you to actually use them? For example, how many of you have ginger in your refrigerator at all times, chaga, magnesium, and vitamin C in your medicine cabinet, a properly designed sleep environment, and a nice smelling bottle of hand soap at every sink in your house and office, encouraging you to wash your hands as often as possible? The number one most important factor to your success isn't willpower, it's setting up your environment so that it's easy to follow these strategies. After all, at least half of these tips are probably common sense to you, but in that moment, when you start to get the headache, get the runny nose, and get the achy joints, how many of these strategies do you actually follow? That's why I want to encourage you to take the following next steps. 1, stock up on any of the supplements or food products that I talked about in this video using the links below. Number 2, if you're serious about optimizing your health and wellness, I want to encourage you to not only subscribe to this channel where I regularly share memory, learning, and productivity hacks, but also subscribe to our podcast channel where we put out a new interview with some of the world's top experts and top superhumans every single week. We've already put out over 170 of them, so make sure to go back and listen to those episodes on sleep and on everything else. Finally, if you like this video, don't just subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. And give me a quick like to let me know how I'm doing. And of course, let me know in the comments which of these things you did and did not know about.